Hi everyone, I'm Allie Sloan. I'm here at the TGS booth at URTeC 2025, and I'm with Carl Neuhaus, who's the VP of Well Data Products. So Carl, what type of innovations or updates does TGS have in the pipeline that you're particularly excited about?
One thing that we do in the background to bring all the data together is a mastering process to make sure that the end user can use the data without the hassle of cleanup or stitching different data types together. So it's really convenient when you pull up an application and you can analyze regional trends with hundreds of thousands of wells down to a specific acreage position that looks at maybe a handful of wells without having to do any type of cleanup or manipulation. And that's enabled by a master data management process in the background that doesn't sound or look very sexy, but is really important for analytics and high-grade analysis. And then the second thing that I would add to that is we've recently added lease data to our product offering through a partnership with Oseberg, and a lot of regulatory data when it comes to pooling and spacing that are going to make a real difference for operators. And when you pair that with the geological data and the well performance data that we have, it's a really unique combination.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about how that partnership and that additional data will enhance the platform.
So the one thing that TGS is really known for in the subsurface data space is clean data that's ready to use, so analytics, interpretation ready, and Oseberg brings that same attitude and technology to lease data, not just ingesting things on a surface level, but having solutions for the operator to make decisions with the data that they provide, which really stands out compared to the other vendors that offer any type of lease data.
Excellent. So with TGS's extensive well data library, how do you believe it enhances the customer decision making and just overall operational efficiencies?
It's a really good question. I think it's more important now than ever because a lot of operators have run out of what they would refer to as their tier 1 acreage.
Yep.
They're going into tier 2 or tier 3 acreage, so break-evens are a little higher. Costs are rising, geology is more challenging, there's more structure to it. So good data to help you develop development plans, completion designs is more important, and that coupled with the fact that operators have fewer resources, like just human resources, interpretation resources at their disposal, means that they just need better data and better workflows to help them do their jobs in areas that are more challenging than tier 1 acreage.
So with TGS's extensive well data library, how do you believe it enhances your customer decision making and then overall operational efficiencies?
So I think there's two aspects to it. One, we are our own customers first because we have a vast seismic data business that ingests a lot of well data, uses geological data to assess prospectivity in certain areas. So we have geoscientists internally that are the first users of our data and also the harshest critics.
Yep.
So we develop a data set that works for operators because it works for us internally, and then we have actual geoscientists, geologists, geophysicists, petrophysicists, reservoir engineers working on our data products to make sure that they live up to the expectations that somebody would have at an operating company.
Do you feel like that sets you apart from your competitors, having all of that in-house expertise?
Absolutely.
Great.
We do everything in-house, and we control the quality of the data from A to Z, and if there's something that you have a question about, or if you want to change a certain attribute or a spec, pick up the phone. We'll have somebody here in your time zone to talk to you who speaks the same language from a geoscience perspective and is able to respond to those requests.
That's huge. Thank you. So how is TGS leveraging technology to improve data accessibility and usability for your customers?
So when you think about all the applications that you have on your iPhone or iPad or any type of cell phone, for example, you click on the application, you move some data from that application to another application, maybe you share something with a friend. All that works seamlessly because there's an API in the background that connects all these applications. So we've replicated these things for the subsurface data that we provide to customers to make sure that the data streams from our database to the customer's database without the customer having to worry about what their format looks like, what our format looks like. And then if you think of applications like geoscience, interpretation applications that utilize that data, we want to make it as easy for customers as possible to get the data into those applications. So we have a lot of partnerships where all you need to do is log in with your TGS credentials and the data streams into the application that you're using automatically without you having to look for the data, download it, upload it, clean it up, etc. So it's really about getting to the point where you can do something with the data without having to worry about all the work that's required to get there.
That's fantastic. Make it easy and seamless.
Exactly.
So what trends in the energy sector are you seeing that could influence TGS's strategy in the coming years?
I think the big thing, or the big buzzword that nobody can get around, is AI right now, machine learning.
Yep.
We have our own data science team, and we've had it for a while. On the geological data side, for example, one product that we've come up with is taking all these 2D logs and making them into a 3D model.
Okay.
Not just simply interpolating between two data points across a couple thousand feet between two wells, but employing a stratigraphic model that's interpreted by our in-house geologists, and then a machine learning algorithm that predicts the geology between two data points, to where it's not just a straightforward interpolation, it's an actual prediction that produces, in one case, a 3D model of certain rock attributes for the entire Permian Basin.
Excellent. Yeah, so you're just not just connecting point to point, but using your knowledge and your data in between as well. That's fantastic. So can you share any success stories from clients and customers who have benefited significantly from the TGS data solutions?
Yeah, we've worked on some really cool projects. When you think about the subsurface and the correlation between the geology, what the rock is able to deliver, the completion, which is how you manipulate the rock, and then what you're producing on the surface, it's a multivariate problem. And the variables are not correlated in a linear way. So it's really hard to describe that with physics, but you can use machine learning and multivariate models to understand what impacts production, and also what knobs you can tweak, and how to adjust your completion for a given geology scenario instead of, for example. So that's how we work with customers a lot, ingesting a lot of our data, a lot of their data, and then working with partners that offer multivariate modeling capabilities to basically do inventory calculations and sensitivity analysis based on how certain wells are producing, at what point they come online, to help our customers maximize the recovery from any given acreage position and most efficiently drain the volume that they've leased.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. If our viewers would like to get a hold of TGS, what's the best way for them to do that?
Excellent question. It's wdpsales@tgs.com.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.